Solve the equation. Simply factor out the variables E and O. Welcome back, Automation Nation, to the Industrial Revolution. We are going to be diving into another wonderful day, trying to build forward into the Bronze Age. Off screen, we did have the chance to make a few improvements here, maybe more aesthetic than anything, but we were able to reorganize a little bit on the crazy belt structure, just even it out so it looks a little bit more clear cut. And then I just also doubled up on the transport belt stuff just so that I could make sure that I had a good quantity of it going, because we want to keep things moving today. Inventory is also nicely cleaned up, and I think that it should be a good one. So it's very nice to just kind of have everything here to pull from, nice and easy whenever I need it. As if I get more distance from this location, it'll be a bit inconvenient, but for right now, I'm liking it. So I'll probably end up having to clear this space out for like a road that I'll travel on in the future, but for right now, it's good. So let's just look at our objectives. What do we want to accomplish today? Well, one thing I want to do first and foremost is I want to scale up to bronze. And in order to do that, I'd like to talk a little bit about factory planning. We look at what we have made so far, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It accomplishes our goals. It scales decently well. The issue is that the ratios are not really aligned the way we want. Either we're not getting enough supply of stuff like ingots, or we're not processing it in the most efficient way. As you'll see, there's so many machines that are just not doing anything. They might as well not exist. Like, I could literally delete these and it wouldn't change much. So some of that is like the end point of like, okay, we're full up, we got what we needed. But some of it is also just like how these different machines are valued. And so if we look at Factory Planner and we just break it down to like a basic copper chain, what you can see is that there's a much more efficient way to do it when we have a goal in mind. So let's say that our goal is just to get the assembly machine, make one of a couple of those, and like one per minute, and make one steam crusher per minute, make a mixer per minute. Every assembler needs, and then even like these small assemblers as well. Let's say two small assemblers, just since they do seem actually kind of common. And then each one of these assemblers would need, like, let's say 2 or 3 inserters. So let's say 4 or 5. Let's say 5 inserters as a consistent flow. So that plus like the 120 red science, this is like your basic, like, oh, this is what I want. This is your shopping list. Like, this is what I want to be able to make here in the near future. And we'll look at items per minute here, just keep track of all that. And then you can go from there with, if there's anything else you'd want, like the transport belts. Let's say we want 10 of those per minute. Probably would want more, but, just as a basic general line. Like, this is what I need. This is what I need to survive. And of course, science is at the top of the list there, and it's going to be probably one of the bigger components. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this to matrix, which will just kind of make sure there's no duplicate lines here. And we're just going to fill all these out to the fullest extent. So in this experiment of how we could set up a factory differently, it doesn't even take that much time, as you can see. And what it accomplishes, we don't really need to worry about that. That's all like incoming. Maybe the wood beams, but that's it. So what this accomplishes is it can tell you basically what you need to prioritize in terms of like how many machines you need to generate. Like, at this point, we need one of everything for sure, but let's look at the ones that are above one. We'll need 12 to 13 red science pack assemblers, of the copper analysis packs, as they are called. We'll need about 20 on the copper plate line, 7 on the tin plate line, and everything else is 1 or 2 tops. So when you look at it from this perspective, you can get all these things that you want out of just this rounded down. You look at belting, and you can see like how much will it actually fill out the line. Will any of these even fill out more than half of a line? Not really. The plates obviously are going to come the closest, 0.8. They'll need a full belt line, but it's pretty clear that this is just a little bit overkill in a lot of ways. Not too bad on the copper plates, actually, because we increased the amount that it's producing. As we saw that we needed more, it actually ended up in a pretty good spot, but a lot of this other stuff is a bit of a waste. So the goal is I want to try to make future stuff in here. It's not the most fun thing to have like a big chart up here and talk about it, but it is going to make our factory that much more effective. So let's start with a goal. Let's say that our goal is to get 120 green science packs per minute. We're not going to worry about the iron side of it because we don't even have access to iron, but let's focus on this bronze stuff, this glass stuff. That'll go into it as well. And then after that, I mean, I could put in like the forestry type stuff. Let's say this one, and just say 0.1, just be able to produce it like with some level of consistency. And you could say the same for bronze furnaces. I would say 2 or 3 a minute would be good. Let's just keep it at 2, and we can handcraft a little bit to augment that. But honestly, that's most of it. Like, yeah, you're not going to really need a good consistent source of radars. I guess I could go 0.1 on that as well, but that is probably the most of it. We're at bronze telescope. There you go. So this is basically, as far as adding on to what we currently have, I think this will cover it. Nothing else is really going to be a consistent need on the bronze side. So look at the bronze chain. Again, we're going to go to matrix just to avoid duplicate entries, and we'll just clear this all out. So with this in mind, and obviously it's a lot if we haven't like, oh, we're going to cut out the iron and just leave that on the table for right now. But obviously this is quite a bit. And then bronze rods, the glass smelting mix, which comes from silica, gravel, and this kind of maps it out a little bit of like cause and effect of like where this all comes from. What is this? Okay. And yeah, and then just copper and tin, and then we get the bronze alloy mix, which will bump up the copper and tin needs a bunch. And we're kind of getting a better picture of what we actually need. I don't actually even know where these copper rods come from, probably just one random machine. But yeah, stone bricks, wooden beams, all the good stuff. So what you're going to see here is this is what we need on the non-iron side in order to accomplish our goal of consistent green science packs and a little bit of good building activity. Now that we got our essentials, and it's not too bad overall. There's going to be obviously a lot of needs here because the green science packs are take twice as long to build. But our main need is actually going to be like 20 bronze frame glass. I shouldn't have this here. We're not doing iron right now. That's about it. Yeah, 12 bronze plates, 20 bronze frame glass, and most of this other stuff is like 2 to 3 tops. Obviously the mixers and furnaces and stuff. And we can actually upgrade this to what will be bronze furnaces, since that's what we're going to be basing the build around. So with all this in mind, it's really not bad. And I don't even think this is really necessary. It's just going to be part of like, if we automate the actual machines rather than just handcrafting, which I think we don't need to go that route. If we have all the plates, I don't mind making a telescope by hand. So yeah, we'll keep it simple and cut out the copper stuff that we already have good access to, unless it's like a reliable need, which I don't think it will be. So yeah, this is basically what our factory is going to need, and I'm going to obviously save these for last. So let's just write down which ones we need more than one of to make it work. We need 20 bronze framed glass. And if you guys think it'd be better if I just did this beforehand and then just showed you the design afterwards, that's fine too. But at least for this first one, especially for the newer viewers, I wanted to kind of go through it more directly. So bronze plates, writing down 12 of those. You can just do probably 1 and get away with 1, but 1.28, so let's just say 2, what are these called, reinforced bronze plates. And then yeah, we'll do, again, this should be, I think I can set this as a default somewhere. If I look preferences, yeah, there we go. So we'll just change this up to the bronze one. And yeah, where were we? Yeah, 5 rods, 5 rivets. And 5 glass smelting. 3 glass mixing. Just rounding up for everything. even though it won't be perfectly on the dot. We're not trying to make it like infinitely scalable. We're trying to get something functional. So this is just takes us the most direct route to that, I would say. So 2 silica. $17 furnaces smelting. Is this like a 12 days of Christmas kind of thing? I bet you could make a pretty fun video on that, honestly. "11 bronze furnaces smelting." Something like that. Please don't judge the poor singing. Alright, 9 alloys mixing. Yeah, that song writes itself. Somebody's got to get on that. I'm assuming it's actually already out there, but if not, it could be you. Alrighty. And that's it. That's basically it. Everything else is one of everything in the chain, which we could probably just... Yeah, I'll just do a quick little screenshot and reference that on the side. And away we go. Let's start building, you know? So as far as that goes, we need to use our mixers, use our... We don't need crushers in this case. Crushers is actually going to be chill for right now. But what we do need is to find a good spot to bring in the ingots. And we're going to probably need to increase our timber production, but let's worry about that later. Let's just go ahead and say this is the plot. Now, I was kind of planning for this to be a science zone, but I don't know how realistic that is. If we can just pipe ingots over this way, I might feel better about it overall. We can go up here. The issue is these cliffs are really annoying, and we don't have a way of doing cliff explosives. That's kind of one reason I've been doing such a compact build of everything right next to each other, is because the more you expand, the more terrain you really end up covering. So if we get past this cliff, if I just do a ton of belts to get past this cliff, that'll probably be the best solution we can really offer. So let's go ahead and do that right here. And... just get our ingots out. Ooh, forgot. Whoopsie. Some basics there we messed up. But you can't do underground belt onto an underground belt. So let's just do this. The great escape of the ingots. One more. And they're home free. Now we need twice as much copper as we do tin. So this will be about what we need here. And there you have it. Now we could put these together, but just for throughput, I'm actually going to keep them separate for the moment. I think that that'll create some good value. And yeah, we just got to pipe it a bit to the left here. We got to bring it past this mark here. Have the robots clear the way. Again, further away from our stuff means longer trips back to get what we need, but hopefully we can just stock up a good amount and yeah, figure it out. And yeah, we'll be a little bit full on a few materials here for a bit, but it'll work out, I'm pretty sure. Well, we need some more wood, or a more reliable source of wood before we get that forestry, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, we're about at that point where we can start bringing it up, or we could just start mixing on the line here. Let's go ahead and bring it up. I'll fill in these just to not have to worry about it. Landfill covers the water, allows us to actually work in this area and different kinds of trees and stuff. There's something called rubber tree, which I'll have to keep an eye out for. I'm not sure if it looks very obviously different, but it can be a priority for some materials later on here in the Industrial Revolution. Hope you all are having a very fine night. Uh-oh, because we're not. What's going on over there? Did we bring somebody from the north? Looks like it. Well, well, well. We have some friends. Looks like that radar will help us out quite a bit once we get that. Or telescope. Alrighty, and the robots are slow because they're running out of energy, which means that they are gonna have a hard time keeping up. So I have to recollect them, have them rebuild this stuff, and then I guess we go on a quick little exploration trip to the north and see what we're seeing. Stay away from these trees so that the robots can chill out for a second. And I've got some coal in inventory that will work just fine for what we need. Oh! My poor robots. They just want to help. They just want to do their jobs. Alright. Mono wheel it up over to there. Maybe make a few shells. And then we'll be underway. Where did you come from, little guy? It's like finding a TIE fighter that's trying to float away from a main carrier. Either the Death Star or Star Destroyer. You know he's a short-range fighter. You know he didn't go too far by himself. He had help. Alright, military bar is right here. Go ahead and just drop one of these down, put half of it available, leapfrog a bit outside of the range of this stuff. The real challenge is going to be this worm, even a small one. We don't really have the range to encounter it, so we're going to test it out. It fires from here, so this is about the closest we're going to be able to get without... Oh, even that's a little too far. Too close, apparently. So this is about as far as we're going to get. Everything else is by hand. Until we get a good weapon, this short-range shotgun is all we really get to work with. And, yeah, it's just not good at closing this distance here. Unfortunately. I mean, we could try to go from the top, but... Yeah, I'm just going to go right after the respawn, go in, get a few hits on this thing, back up. Try not to die. Tried to kill it, getting a little greedy. Apparently there's a finite amount of fish in the world, so... Technically speaking, you have to worry about wasting it all, but realistically, the world's a pretty big place. So it's more, you just have to find a new source of it if you really want it. Yeah. In a vanilla playthrough, you don't even really need fish. You can just get turrets, super powerful turrets very early on, and you're not at risk. Or you're driving on in your tank like an hour into the playthrough. This is a bit different. Alright, well clearly we need to move this up a bit. That good? How about that? Still good? Not good. Okay. So we'll do that. And nearly lose this guy. But we're repairing it. We're making things happen. Alright, so that's my support as I try to kill off this last worm. And once we do that, we are in business. Cool. Just run in there. Get up in its business. Alright, we're doing good now. And now we can just basically do whatever we want. Just generate a little bit more pollution for everyone out there. We'll heal back naturally. We don't need to worry about that. And that will keep it clear. I was kind of hoping for like a secret iron patch hiding up here. Looks like we are not so lucky. But that's okay. And drive around just for a second, see if there's anything to see. But realistically, we want to get that steamroller, because then it will make it much easier to navigate around the heavily forested area. Oh, I was really hoping that was iron. That is just ice. It's really cool to see the biome, though. The different biomes definitely have a better... What? Alright, we got coal. That's not bad. I don't think we're going to need it for a while, but... So what do we have right now? That's a lot of coal, though. That's 29 million. We're currently at 470. Alright, we'll keep that in mind for the future. Iron, iron, iron. Yeah, I'm imagining if it's not to the north, it's... Okay, what's this? Oil? Crude? Cool. Yeah, if it's not available to the north, we're going to have a long trip, I imagine, because we've already kind of scattered out a bit to the south. Yikes. Okay. that's a lot of transport belts. So yeah, so I'm thinking of like long distance transports. I have to connect the bronze and the iron somehow to get this science going. So unless I happen to find copper and tin next to the iron patch that I can just restart from scratch, I've got to just do like a really long conveyor belt line, and because the trains are not available. So yeah, we will see what happens, but let's bring it a little bit deeper. There we go. All right. Now, on to our activities here. Appreciate everybody who decided to tune in for the night. Gotten some activity on the videos, and it has been really cool to see. I'm, yeah, blown away by how many people just want to enjoy it, check out the Industrial Revolution, and see the factory grow. That's really cool. Appreciate all the different comments and stuff like that, too. Tips and pointers are always helpful. Like I said, 400 hours will feel like a lot to somebody. Like, think about like somebody who says, I've played chess for 400 hours. You might think you know what you're doing, but you really don't. There's some people that have studied that game for so much longer and know it to such a deeper degree. And I'm here I'm happy to be scratching the surface. So, yeah, let's see what we can build together. As far as what we want to be doing now, we want to be going for this chain of mixing the ingots together, then putting it into smelters to get the bronze ingots. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of everything, but it's 2-to-1 in terms of how much copper it consumes. So what we can do is we can do double... I think at this point, what will make the most sense is to make 2 splits of 50-50. It's just gonna be clean. Of course, then no, it's all run by steam until the furnaces. So I might need to pipe coal as well. Now that I think about it, all these don't really mean words to you guys. Let me get my thoughts out in action, and it'll probably make more sense. What I want to do is I want to split off the 2 sets of tin, 2 sets of copper. Then I want to do that. Combine these together and then bring it up. And then the other will do the exact same thing here. So basically what this allows me to do is then have the throughput of a full belt of each without the... but still have 2 on 1 belt and make it easier for the mixers to get what they need with a simplistic design. As far as mixers go, do I have them on the bar? I think they were not until now. We need to pipe steam. That should be pretty easy. And then, yeah, as far as looking at my cheat sheet that I created earlier, how many mixers we want, it looks like we're going to need 9 mixers. So realistically, that's not going to need a whole belt of all this stuff, unless I'm drastically misjudging what these things are capable of. But we'll go ahead and just run it. And yeah, just pop, pop. And yeah, then we'll just have to bring in the steam from the top and it'll work out great. We do a little bit of input. And that'll cover everything you need. Time, oh yeah, it's an odd number, so we'll just do that. Cool. So, now we just copy this, do the exact same thing over here. Yeah, be a little bit limited on bots for the moment because they are also clearing, and they kind of have to, right? Like, as much as I want them to prioritize the thing I'm building to make it feel more complete, there's no way that we're going to be able to continue to expand where we want to without taking some trees down. But after I charge them back up, oh, come on, guys. After I get them back in here, then we can grab some steam, and they are building outside of build range. So this green square is a lie. Like, if I just say, hey, build something there, is there a robot going to do it? Or maybe it was just because I was in the range of it at an earlier time. Interesting. Alrighty. So off the bat, we are going to be wanting to pipe our steam over. There isn't too many easy sources of that, so let's just go with this. And unless we want a big old thing in the way, I think we're going to go ahead and craft a few out of these underground. Let's do that. I think you can actually just hold the button down. Same with like the way you do transport belts. So if I do this, yeah, all right, that's pretty nice. And then couldn't do it there because, well, we want it up top, so I don't know why I'm going down with it. Let's just do this. This is where... Yeah, so if there's trees in the way, I should do the copy-paste thing and ghost it so the robots know what they're doing. And if not, then I can run it like a line. All right. Part 1. Complete. In theory. We're running out into throughput issues, because that definitely can happen as you cover more distance. Looks okay for the moment, though. Realistically, how much steam could it consume? So this isn't actually necessary at all, because clearly I think this is going to be plenty for just 9 mixers, but we will watch and see. So next thing up is going to be, it looks like twice as many furnaces. So we'll do 18. I'm not actually sure why it's not 2 to 1, but anyways, these furnaces are going to start out slower and then increase in value later. How do we, if there's a clean way to do 2 to 1, I don't really know it in this context. I think we'll just do a whole nother line. Yeah, if we stretched it out, if we like spaced it more like this and then skipped 1, 2, 3, just piped in between, then we could have a dual inserter setup where we put into one smelter, put into one smelter. And that would be fine. But it's not that much better than just belting. So let's just belt. And we'll have the inserters pick this stuff picking it up off the line as soon as they can. Starting here. Yeah, we'll just do the same copy-paste job here. And we'll need to get these guys coal. That's the biggest issue. So I guess we'll run that through here. Makes most sense. That's 10. It's saying 17, which is kind of a weird number to me. But 18 would be fine too. Either way, one last. And then I'll bring it around here. So that can be connected here? Okay, cool. So then we'll have it inserting onto here, a belt going down, presumably. Maybe up. And down's fine. And then we'll have it insert onto here. We'll do this exact same thing right here. And that was a mistake. We'll fix that. And away we go. And so they're all going to put it onto here. These will be the ingots. And then simply another one of these. I want to vertical flip this instead of rotate because you'll see the 1 to 2, it's going to be asymmetrical. If I just start here, though, it should be fine. Because they don't allow you to vertical flip steam inserter stuff for some reason. Which I don't think is a technical limitation. But what do I know? Alrighty. Yeah, I want to do it over here because this is where the steam is most accessible. Even though I totally could do it up top as well. Anywho, now we just put the coal onto this line right here. So we can get rid of this. We can put coal into this. And then we will be all set. I guess if I wanted to, I could just spread the coal around for a second, get it moving. But it's not really going to go anywhere once we get that accomplished anyways, because we still have to build the infrastructure behind it, so. That actually might become a problem. The pollution's nowhere near it right now, but yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. Should I just bring my car for these little treks? I'm not too sure, honestly. And should I be putting all my wood into copper cap beams when I'm just going to need bronze caps beams? Also a good question. Anyways, what are we doing right now? We're getting coal. And the closest source of coal went all the way down there. It's a little bit awkward. Yeah, so my options are to pull it from up here to down there, or down there and across when I already have all this stuff. I don't really want to add another belt. I'm going to add a stone belt here in a minute. But could do 2 at a time, which is kind of nice. I do need stone for all the glass stuff, right? So either... yeah, do both or do neither kind of a thing. Yeah, I guess we'll do both. Pull stone from here. I'm trying to think of the best way to do it without just having pockets full of nonsense. I'm just gonna put down a box, put the stone in the box, keep it simple. Alright, so we'll go ahead. I know this is not going to be great long term. Actually, we can't even go across here, right? Okay, this is very short term, but yeah, we're just going to bring it up here for a second, and we'll destroy this once we actually start upgrading our stone output, which will inevitably have to occur. Trying to actually see how much we need for glass, but don't think I have it. Yeah, I guess I'm curious of that too. This is like producing it though from scrap instead of just mining it. I'm not sure if it has miners figured out for that. Oh well. So we'll go here. Yeah, I was planning on bringing it down this way. I guess I can just do that. And then we'll meet up with the coal shortly thereafter. Yeah, we want a separate belt for it. I was thinking about combining the belts. I'm like, no, actually it doesn't make any sense. So let's just bring it all down past this stuff. And then best place for coal. Is this necessary anymore? This is like really old copper ingot stuff. We can go ahead and bots take a little bit longer because there's stuff on the line, but yeah, both of these are defunct at this point. I think that's the right use of that word. I don't know. All right. Stone and coal living together. Perfect. Yeah, I do not think we're going to make Rainbow like a nice clean road to go through this space at this time. It definitely will come into play later, but we're still not really off the ground in a lot of ways, so we'll keep working at it. And coal, and that's all running, right? kind of slow on the stone side. We'll figure it out. Well, this cliff is a little awkward, isn't it? As they tend to be. They're literally there as an obstacle, so it's doing its job. It's a good cliff in that context. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. All right, so we don't actually have a good way of getting stone across this stupid little... Please? Please? We're going the long way around. It's fine. Sometimes you tunnel, sometimes you just go around the mountain. Don't worry, our vengeance against the cliffs will come swiftly. It's actually not too deep in the tech tree compared to some of the other stuff, so... Once we don't have that to worry about, we can get it as expansive as we want to be. So this is where automated production of the belts is going to be very nice. Because even though I just burned through like 800, I can go restock that real quick. Okay, maybe more like 600, but yeah. Just go right over here. Welcome to the mall. That'll be $17.99. And here we are. So the copper, the coal goes into here. I'm sure there's other stuff I need to smelt, so I can go ahead and we'll just chill on this entirely. Make this happen. Well, it's more like make this happen. And then we want it on the close half because the mixers are putting the bronze on the other half. Get my hotkeys confused. There we go. So that will put all the coal in here, which will go right into the furnaces, and then as it wraps around the top, it'll do the exact same thing. So basically we have now, or we have to give these guys a recipe. I didn't even realize. I haven't really messed with mixers yet, have I? Well, we definitely want bronze. Did think it was a little quiet over here. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and make that. They're going to get what they need. Do we need to double insert these? Because these are slower inserters. 360 degrees per second. So basically they can rotate 1 time per second. They carry 2 each. So if we want to do more than just 2 things per second, we'll have to see. But it takes 12 seconds to build this stuff. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The product is 12 seconds, or 12 in quantity. The build time is 12 seconds. It'll all work out. So, yep, same thing here. And we have ourselves a nice bronze ingot line all ready to go. It's beautiful. Alrighty, what do we want to work on next? Well, we need plates, and then we need rods and rivets, as I would say the main things. So let's go ahead and focus on plates. As far as plates go, there it is. 12 bronze plates in my build out. You can also see it right here for you guys. This is going to be 12 bronze assemblers. And this is where we want to start questioning what have we done with this inserter line. Everything's off by 1. Well, what is it? It's fine here. And then it got ugly after that somehow. I don't quite see what happened. I don't want to replicate the error, so I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to copy with the known good detail right here. And we know he's special. Daddy's special furnace. Alright. And then we need to delete all this. Because it looks like there was a mistake here. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way we know this should be good now. We've paid closer attention to it. I do tend to have some copy and paste errors. We had some over in the boilers that I intend to fix later, but yeah, the little jump up there is kind of ugly. Even if it really is just an aesthetic difference. And sure. We can make space. So is this one wrong too? Because I've been... yeah, the problem is then you like make the same mistake over and over and over as you're copying from what you consider a perfect solution. Only to realize you were deceived. So like this is bad, right? Yeah. Let's just go with this, nice and clean. Which starts at this point. And then almost good. We'll just cancel that. Alright, so this is correct and this is incorrect. I'll have to check back on how that happened because I don't even know. I must have just, yeah, done a copy paste. That was one too high or too low. And then we'll probably just do some underground here to fit all the pieces in. I mean, I don't need to do all that. I can literally just use underground pipes and not be bad. I don't know what I just undid. I undid something, but we'll find out later. Yeah, just do a little pipe action. Nice and easy. Thank you. Your donation is appreciated. I think we're going to get an inventory upgrade here in a little bit. That'll be nice. So you don't have Steam because you don't have... You do have Steam. We're just running low. Running out of throughput. Oh, missing literally one dot for no reason. Cool. All right, took a little bit. But we have dual-sided bronze ingot line. Just double checking our factory does not need more than one line of bronze. Right here, it does, yeah, 0.7 belts worth. So we're fine there. Alrighty, what are we doing next? Well, well, well. Bronze plates times 12. Let's go. Nice and easy. So at this point, we can just have this like be the main bronze line. And we can just pull off of it to start building up. If I was a bit closer, I could copy paste a bunch from over here. The problem is I'm not. Okay, so makes it harder to repurpose what we have over here because we lack a radar. If we had a telescope, we could see all this stuff, even on the map, and just copy paste from it. But because I don't have a telescope, I actually can't, and I had to move this far because of the cliffs, I'm actually a bit limited on how effectively I can copy paste this stuff. I don't need the conveyor belts. Well, I guess I need the side ones. Alright. Well, maybe not something worth going back for when it's pretty easy to build out, but here we go. So in this context, this is just here to make, it looks like 12 plates at a time. And the input is going to be yeah, right here. So we can just do this and then do something like this. That's great. It's beautiful, it's symmetrical, it doesn't have any steam. Alrighty. But these are copper plates, is the only issue. So we're going to go ahead and turn that into bronze plates. And everything's wonderful. Yeah. Alright, so we got plate action. We can then turn the plates into the next step, which is going to be gears. And as far as gear production, I guess the cheat sheet doesn't really help too much if I want to pull it up for you guys as well. Actually, there are no gears in all this stuff. Gears, bronze gears come separate. Interesting. Kind of surprised at that. But we do need reinforced bronze plates, which will require rivets and bronze plates. So let's go ahead and make the rivets, which come from rods. So as far as rods, it's going to be a small amount. It's only going to be 5.2. Let's just make 6 rods, 6 rivets, and go from there. Comes from ingots as well. So we're going to have to change the recipe before we really bring this online, because otherwise it'll get a bit annoying. But now we can do this and just run it across. So we got these rods. And then I think the best way to do it, since we know that 12 doesn't destroy a belt, is we can actually then just do... Well, no, I was going to say I could just put the rivets onto here, but you also have to take it off. In order to, because basically the problem is for a full-size inserter, you can do an inserter in and an inserter out. We've done it plenty of times over there, but here we just can do only the inserter in. There's just not space because it's a 1x1, which is cool and also limiting in this context. So we just underground belt this. And I'm liking this design a little bit better. This is flowing more naturally than what we did, the big ol' conglomeration we did over on that side. The only issue is, yeah, these are not the right recipe. Rivets. And now, yeah, we have rivets, we have rods, we have plates. We're feeling pretty good. So if we have those taken care of, do I want to check them off the list at this point? How do I... Let's see, can I control right click to delete? Is there anything... You can either put it at the bottom or just remove it entirely. I think we'll just remove it entirely. Apparently it doesn't like me doing some of that. It'll figure it out. So yeah, next is reinforced bronze plates, which will involve, let me just double check it, the belt-wise that it's fine to do 0.5. It says here, yeah, no big deal at all. It's actually way less than I would have expected. Kind of surprising. Did I must have messed something up just now. Let me put it all back on just to double check that I didn't destroy everything. I guess that's fine. We just don't need that many reinforced steel plates. It's like 2. Okay. Then yeah, it's totally fine. So then we'll go ahead and... These guys can meet up here. And after a quick pickup there, you can make 2 machines worth of that. Which apparently will require the big one. Just double checking. That reinforced is not a small recipe. Interesting. Why is it that much more complex to reinforce it that it needs to be in a large assembly machine instead of a small one? Doesn't seem to make too much difference. They're both plates, but what do you know? Poor robot. He's just trying so hard. I guess we don't want it there. We actually want it right here. So then we can run it onto these. And here. Yes, I got you, buddy. I got you. Alright. We'll make ourselves a nice little tin chest right here. We'll put some junk in it that we probably don't need ever. And we'll move on. Mixer. This is a crafter. This is going to be reinforced. Do I want to be putting this stuff in a box? I don't know. everything moves north for the moment. We'll bring the rods over this way. I think the bronze plates can go in the box. As well as some of these. And we're out of steam inserters. Been working hard, been building up. Go ahead and continue to demolish. Oops. There, should just do the trees and rocks only one. That's fine. Yeah, because I think we just, we have to undo that and that. Keep our pipes alive. But yeah, we just get to run over here. It's like, oh no, we're out of steam inserters. Well, I can make 200 by hand. And I can also go to this box that has, like, a lot of them. Actually, probably... I don't think there's any reason to cap them all. Yeah, we don't necessarily need that many at a time. Yeah, I guess that's fair. At least I can double how much it offers, but I really don't plan on walking away with hundreds. That being said, the further away I am, the less trips I want to make. It's possible that I could actually need a decent amount. Or if I restock like a cargo wagon, not a cargo wagon, but like a vehicle that has the trunk space for it, yeah, I probably need more than that. For now, we're doing good. Check it off the list. So yeah, we're making rivets. I think it's okay to do this, but yeah, it just needs I want to put it back to ingredients is what I want it to do. Like, this is clearly a mistake. Yeah, I broke it at some point. That's unfortunate. So, matrix solver is sad because I did something I wasn't supposed to with it. And now we're here. Apparently, you should not just remove stuff from this. Maybe I should have duplicated it or something before I broke everything. So, can I just... Alright, I'm just gonna go based on what I made on my cheat sheet. You guys get the idea. We'll do more collaborative for the next one, but I have it up on the slide here. I know how much I need. So the next one on my list is gonna be, let's say, copper cap beams, but those do require a few more components. And by that I mean bronze capped. It's gonna take, we have what we need. It's actually the same thing as we needed right here. So we can go ahead and then make, it says, yeah, one machine doing bronze cap beams, which we can put right here. And this is just like, if I just realized I literally need one bronze cap beam machine, but I had like at least half of this doing copper cap beams. So, yeah, it's a big difference between how much space we utilize and how efficient we're being about this stuff. So we'll do this, do the inserter, and then the trick is it's going to need the wood stuff too. So this will be bronze cap beams, and then we'll need how many wood crafters? Do I have that marked down? Well, I need 8.8 wood per minute, which is not a lot, so I should be fine with just one continuous source. So then we can go ahead and do a small assembling machine. Yeah, I don't want it in the way of stuff. But inevitably it will be. This isn't too bad, actually. If I do something like this, pipe it along like this, and then put a tin box here full of wood, we'll be happy. And then, yeah. I messed something up. Nice. One right there. There we go. And boom. Nice. So we really don't need the wood on the line at all. It's going to have plenty. We'll just double check that it's actually getting what it needs, but it looks perfectly fine to me. Yeah, that'll be stalled out the whole time, which is fine. Alrighty. And now we've got bronze cap beams. So half of it will go in a chest, half of it will go up here. We're going to be super happy. Cool. Alrighty. Making some good progress here. Plates, beams. We're basically done, it almost looks like. The bronze frame glass, we're just going to rely on the glass, and then we, yeah, get to the end points, which are like furnaces and stuff like that. Like, can we just make stuff by hand now at this point? Can we make ourselves a steamroller? Maybe. Reinforced bronze plate. Cool. Yeah, this mall will have the same problem as before, where it's not as cleanly distributed as the other one, but it's still good. Because we're using less factory space as a whole, it shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, I think we just want to, at this point, make sure we're plating a lot of the key materials. This goes down here. Cool. And you can, in theory, just like grab a bunch from here, pull off the line, whatever works. And I don't really think we want an inventory full of bronze anyways. We just want it when we need it for specific things. And yeah, we can just straight up make a roller. So what stuff do we want to make? We want to make furnaces. That's a given. We've been needing those for a while. So grab some bronze cap beams. And away we go. Bronze Age has arrived. I'm not consuming all our ingot stuff. I want to look back at my tin and copper, because that's going to run out. At least one of those is not going to be doing too well here in a bit. And we're going to be kind of get ahead of that. Oh, we can do the bronze chests as well. I didn't think about that too much, but yeah, so we can either create a continuous source of wood by getting the forestries up in line, or we can look at our copper and tin, or we can start working on glass. There's a lot of options here at this point. This kind of covers our core stuff. So, as far, how are we doing on time? Looking like we are just over an hour, or just under an hour into it, which is not too bad. We're considering we are actually moving forward. Yeah, I want to make the telescope, actually. I think that would be actually a pretty good thing to prioritize, but it needs glass. Never mind. We will have to save that for next time. Yeah, glass seems like its own operation entirely. So I think just using the bronze, putting it to work, is going to be our best option. And then, yeah, making sure that the tin is sustained is going to be important too. So we have steam mining drills. I don't think that we automated steam mining drill creation, but we're going to have all the key materials to make it nice and easy. Like, look at that at the bottom there. It's just like boom, 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 boom. We don't actually need all the extra stuff, which is nice. Should I not be waiting on these guys? They'll find their way home eventually, right? It's not like I'm traveling that far. So, yeah, we just gotta be smart about inventory. You know, what might be best to prioritize is this right here. It says inventory size bonus of 20, so I do believe that should solve a lot of our armor-based concerns. And then we can take out this stuff and... Alright, so we'll do that. And one of these. We'll take our modules out. Burner. Alright. I don't even know if that was necessary, but we did this. Beautiful. That's going to help so much. I'm very happy with that. And we get an extra slot. And that means that we can double the amount of robots we have working, which is wonderful. So we have 20 robots, and with one extra little RoboPort thingy. There it is. It'll take a little bit to charge both of them up with this one burner generator, But yeah, we're not consuming too much energy, so this will be nice. Double robot action. And now we don't feel so bad about filling up on random stuff when we determine that we need it. So I can spam this until we need the tin. Grab some extra tin. And that should do for a while. Cool. Looking that much better. Alrighty. So we have our stone running. We have this stuff building out. We'll go ahead and collect some extra here. With the goal of maybe potentially putting this to work, but at the very least having it available for easy handcrafts of all the bronze type stuff. There's really not that much stuff that we actually make for bronze. If I'm being honest, looking it over, it's a few key buildings. We definitely need forestries. We definitely need the radars. The power armor was a one-off. The heavy rollers are basically a one-off too. I'm actually curious what this thing looks like. Doesn't even take that long to make. Let's go for it. All right. It looks like we have our... Pardon the JoJo reference there. But... what is this thing? What is this monstrosity? Oh, yeah. All right. It looks like it's built like a tank. And it cares very little about what's in its way in a very similar fashion. All right. So it's a tank without weapons. That's pretty fun. And then... okay. Seriously? Can you... yeah, if I put this... Dude, that's awesome. That's really good. There's so many slots for the grid here. We could actually turn this into a construction vessel. If we just get a lot of the modules. Not modules might be the wrong word, but the grid equipment. And a number of burners. Probably like 0.7 burners per RoboPort is kind of the ratio you'd look for, maybe. But you could run a lot of robots out of this thing. Of course, you do have to operate out of the trunk, so they would have to, like, you'd have to put a bunch of transport belts and stuff in here. But maybe I just want to take a look at that real quick, because that could improve efficiency quite a bit. So if I go to the grid, I put the burner generator in, I fill it up with coal that I definitely have right now. Just to get it moving. And we destroy some random stuff for no reason. Alright, so some robots are working for me, and some robots are working from the... Oh, I have to put the robots in here? Like that? So if I turn my personal RoboPort off and I did this, do they work? Not until they get powered up. Okay. Interesting. Now that opens up a lot, because you can just do so many robots at once. This has basically become the RoboPort at a certain point. And look at the range on that thing. So when you look at the data on it, it says 30 by 30 construction area. And I think that personal logistics are limited to a more specific space. So if I get away from it real quick, you can see this is when have my RoboPort on, this is my building space. The roller becomes the construction king here. That's kind of cool. I like that a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and get it some generators. And it can just... And we need to build some robots on top of that. And we can actually get this thing going. That is very exciting. Go ahead and grab some pistons here from our shop. As we still maintain range, where we can just walk away and it'll keep on doing its thing. Pistons. So how are we doing on generators? Okay. So that's probably too many generators, to be honest. Let's say we did 4 of them, And then we did 6 roboports. That'd be kind of cool. Then we need a lot more coal, which I guess I'm just going to pull from here. All right. This roller is actually pretty awesome because we can just do big builds with that if we give it the right ingredients anyways. It's not the most convenient thing to refuel. Maybe I'm missing something, like an obvious hotkey or something, but even just this alone will help. Yeah, it's going to be a little slow on that front, but once they get full, the robots themselves don't need that full system of power that quickly, that often. So if we just do trunk, put these in. Oh, yeah. We're up to Roboport level. This is like a pseudo Roboport that will move around. All right. We like that. All right. Well, we are now taking a key step forward in the world, making this factory grow. That's pretty cool. In fact, it allows me to just go over here if I have the power. Yeah, I need to get out of range so that I can recollect them so that I don't have to spend all my burner energy on recharging them. Because you can see the bar goes down on them, they're consuming their electricity, they're about to be out. And then they take quite a while to recharge because Roboport can only output so much electricity per second. So you have to be mindful of that stuff, but if you're not moving around, it's not too big of a deal. Either way, we're rolling. They hating. It's great. So what I wanted to do here was, now that we actually have... Okay, so for example, this won't do anything because it doesn't have pipes in the inventory, but the second I put pipes in the trunk here, the robots are like, oh yeah, that's the thing I can do. I don't know why my logistics aren't working. Oh, because I took all the robots out. I can take some robots back. There we go. So now it's teamwork. Its logistics does some things, my logistics do something. So what I want to do is I want to park where I'm out of range of this. And then what I can do, in theory, is a nice little cut-paste job that will fix a small problem we brought on ourselves earlier, as we carefully try to line this up properly. No, we did the exact same mistake. There we go. It should be right here. There we go. That's what we want. Just is better. Now we can move into close range. And yeah. Now we have, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 roboports. I do not think I made that many robots, so I can even make some more. And put them in. Okay, that's a bit much, but that's pretty cool. This is effectively, can be set up to effectively mean that we're, and it does create some pollution and coal power, but like, this is effectively having a roboport at the pre-electric age, which is a neat touch for sure. You can just improve your builds that way. So we're gonna have to move everything down. Maybe just like put this here, something like that, but it'll be fine. Oh, and the coal, yeah, the coal won't line up. We'll fix that. So yeah, we can spend time. This is where we can actually like spend time planning out how this works instead of being very confused about it. We will have coal here, right? Surely. So yeah, so we're less the person doing it by hand now. We're the vessel for planning, which is just a nice step forward. Yeah, all this stuff needs to come down one. Yeah, you can see how quickly it can scale if you operate in the right fashion. Just the beginning. So all the items are being picked up by the cut command, being placed into the trunk, and then being redistributed. So I can grab some of these myself if I want my robots to do something. Oh, I can actually put some of these robots into the trunk as well. And they're on the move as well. All right, that speeds it up. So that's the thing, is we weren't using all our roboports until just now because they weren't hitting the robot limit, and now I believe they are. And as long as they don't run out of power on the roboports, we just got a very quick way of building this out, which is very cool. So my personal bots aren't doing anything. Either don't have the ingredients, or they already like gave themselves a command saying, "I got it." Basically, like robot number 17 said, "I'm putting this pipe down. Don't worry about it." So my 10 don't actually have anything to do, but here in theory we have a operation now. We just have to pick this one little coal, change up, and away we go. Now, is it necessary to spend all this time moving everything down a tile just because it bothers you? No, but that's why we're here, right? Like, it's a good thought experiment of like what this thing can do, and I'm glad to see it. It's really cool. I meant to cut, I believe. Not quite. This will definitely cause a mistake, what I just did. Maybe I just do this. Then cut. There we go. And then we just have to fix this one conveyor belt, make sure it's still working the way it's supposed to. Oh, these are on the left. Whoopsie. All good. Fly, my pretties. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you might be able to tell, but getting robots online was always one of my favorite, like, aha moments of Factorio, and the fact that we get it here only a handful of hours into what looked to be a very long playthrough is pretty awesome. Very, very cool. Alrighty. And there you go. Everything's back online, one piece at a time. There'll be a bunch of excess like coal and stuff in here that we'll have to figure out a way to remove, but I got inventory space. The trunk is inventory space. We have ways of working around that. Heck, we can put it in our burners that didn't have enough beforehand, huh? Just have to track which burner I've already clicked, but just go in order. It should be fine. Are we putting a bunch of unnecessary pollution in the world just to see robots dance? Maybe, but I'm having a good time. Hope you are too. Alright, it says 100 on each. Perfect. So these will charge up fully. Right now they're at like about a third, but it doesn't reduce their power. It just is their like battery capacity, basically. And yeah. Fun little detour there. To the point that I don't actually remember why we're here. I mean, I got some bronze furnaces, if that helps anybody. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at tin and stuff. Maybe we can take a look at that on the next one, but actually it doesn't even take that long for me to craft these by hand, so I'm just gonna keep it going. Might as well. I'm not really handcrafting anything else at this point, so it's not a big deal. Do I want to save these for the tin? Which doesn't seem to be having any supply issues right now, but in theory will be. Oh, did we mine that out? Interesting. So we gotta, yeah, rethink how we approach the tin field. Yeah, we still have plenty, and we're not like actively consuming the bronze, so maybe we could just start on glass before we even worry about that. We will see. For now, I think this is going to be as good a place as any to wrap things up. once again, thank you all for joining me on this Factorio adventure. It's great to have the opportunity to share the Industrial Revolution with you guys, and your comments have all been great. I just love to just kind of wake up and read them. I think some of you guys have either good experience with this mod or just in the game in general, and it's great to hear from you all. And also great to hear from the people who just like enjoyed it, and either the more like beginner friendly explanation side of it or just anything, like whatever you liked. I like to hear it, so if you feel like leaving a comment, just know that it always makes my day every time I read one of those, so I appreciate it. But yeah, we got ourselves a bronze factory that is a little mad at the moment because of I probably broke a Steam thing at some point. Let's see if we can see how much is in the system here. 11K. Okay, there's 11,000 Steam here, but not here exactly. Maybe it's not like pumping the right direction. Yeah, I knew it. When I drove over it, I knew something would happen like that. Or maybe it was the deconstruction, actually. It very well could have been that either way. But yeah, we're here. We got a lot of robots. Wait. Why? Okay, I was about to say, why does he only have 18? He's got 68, which is just shy of the cap here. Oh no, it's actually 60. We're good. So yeah, we got our steamroller online. We've got our bronze factory pumping away. And soon we'll be into glass, getting our radars and hopefully finding some iron to get to the next tier, to get to legit electricity, to get forward in the world. For now, this has been a nice little episode to play through with you guys, and hope you enjoyed. Y'all have a good one.